Bri Eastman and I'm a medical social worker at High Peaks Hospice in upstate New York. Welcome to our Ask a Social Worker segment. Today we're going to be talking about advanced directives. What are they? What are the different types? And why are they important? So what are advanced directives? Advanced directives are legal documents that help a person dictate in writing what decisions they would like made and who should make those decisions once it gets to a point where they can no longer make decisions for themselves. It should be noted that these things only take into effect once a person is incapacitated. Examples of these things would be moderate to severe dementia patients, as well as when a person becomes unresponsive closer to end of life. You might be asking yourself why it's so important to have advanced directives in place. Well, in the event of an unexpected medical condition or health concern where you can't make decisions for yourself any longer, it avoids guessing by family members. Your wishes would be known, they could act accordingly in your best interest, and it also avoids conflict between the family dynamic. A healthcare proxy is one of the most common advanced directives and provides you, the patient, an opportunity to put in writing who you would like to make your healthcare decisions in the event that you can no longer make them yourself. It should be noted that in New York State, it is not required to have a healthcare proxy notarized nor done by an attorney. Of course, you can do these things if you wish, but it's not required, and to be legal in New York State, a healthcare proxy only requires 2 witness signatures, of which cannot be the person doing the appointing or the patient, and it cannot be the person being appointed. It should be known as well that in the event there is a medical emergency that you can't make your own medical decisions and you do not have a healthcare proxy, that one will be appointed for you. In New York State, this would be done through the New York State Health Surrogate Law. They would first look to a spouse, then to a child over 18, then to a parent, and so on. These people would be expected to make healthcare decisions in your best moral, religious, and other interests. The next advanced directive is a living will. A living will can be done by anyone over the age of 18, and it serves as a guide, typically to your healthcare proxy, of measures that you would like taken in any emergency medical settings or circumstances where you can't choose for yourself. It should be known that this document is not used by EMTs and hospitals to determine your course of treatment. That will be covered in our next advanced directive document. That brings us to our next document, the MOLST. MOLST stands for Medical Orders for Life-Sustaining Treatment. This is a doctor's order and is signed off by your physician or nurse practitioner. This serves as a legally binding guide to any EMTs or hospitals with access to this record about how they are required to proceed when it comes to life-sustaining treatments. If you have an existing MOLST form, it is highly recommended to hang it somewhere within the line of sight when someone first enters your home. This is because if 911 is called and EMTs respond, they will look for this paper. It's typically printed on bright fluorescent colors such as pink, orange, or green. When they see this document, they will act accordingly to your preferences. The last document that we'll be talking about today is power of attorney. Power of attorney allows one person, known as the principal, to appoint one or more people, known as the agents, to handle any resource matters such as banking, properties, and more. This is something that requires notarization, and the principal appointing other people must have capacity to decide. If the person no longer has capacity, it would be required to speak with an attorney or your local court to determine whether or not you may be able to get a guardianship or a conservatorship at that point. The power of attorney is only valid until somebody passes. Once they have died, the power of attorney is no longer valid. Once you have this form completed, it's highly recommended to provide copies to important resources such as banks, benefits, and more. Keep the original in a safe place. Most often these resources and agencies will want to see the original and can usually make their own notarized copy to keep on their file. I hope this provides you with better understanding about advanced directives. Remember, anytime you have any of these completed, it's highly recommended to keep the originals in a safe place Hang your MOLST where it's easily seen, and provide copies to your medical providers as well as family members. The more copies you have to more people that are in your circle, the easier it will be towards end of life for planning for both you and your family. Let us know in the comments or on our High Peaks Hospice website if you have any more questions for our social work team.